Welcome to Soulfully Aligned You, mindset and strategy for multi-passionate mompreneur coaches and creatives. This is the podcast where we talk about and teach confident mindsets, overcoming limiting beliefs at the subconscious level, and online brand strategies to help you build out your signature services, get more visible with your target audience, and boldly launch out in the online world with your God-given gifts. I believe God cares more about your soul than your success. So get in alignment with His will and what He thinks of you so you can activate the success He already has planned for you.
Into it, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second, this is wobbly and this is shaky. That's not my God. My God is not wobbly. He is not shaky. It is a firm foundation when I step out on Him. So we can get really discouraged, right? Or like, okay, I go to work full time. I'm with my kids all the time, but I have this goal and I have this idea and I see something that God wants me to bring forth and manifest into the world. And yet I don't see that I have the time. As long as you believe that you don't have the time, you will not have the time. That was something I had to begin to shift my mindset around. I had to say, you know what, God? I know that I believe and I have confidence that you want me to do this thing, XYZ, start this business, start this service, whatever it is. And if I only see 1 hour in the day, that is perfectly okay. I will rejoice over that 1 hour because if you've called me to it, you will do more with that 1 hour than I could ever do for myself, right? You'll do more with that 1 hour versus if I try to, squeeze in extra time or neglect my family so that I have extra time. Trust God. Believe that He's the one providing what you need in order for you to be successful in your business, right? So I just want to tap into that area. What did I say here? Sometimes we don't really feel aligned in our businesses. Some of the areas may feel off or out of place for us. So when I was reading this, did you feel like any of the areas weren't true for you or a little out of place and didn't line up for you? And this will be the time, like I said earlier, pause it again and really process through all of that. Is this feeling in alignment for me? Is this true for me? So I'm going to assume that you have paused, for those of y'all watching the replay, those that are watching live with me, hopefully you're maybe doing the work as I'm talking, or you are, and Janelle, you're here on the Zoom with me. So if you want to comment or you have anything you want to share, I'm more than willing to pause for a moment and hear anything that you want to comment on or give feedback on.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next area that I wanted to get into is key factors in your business. There are some key factors in your business. When I think about a mompreneur being in business, like one of the things I had to learn for myself was that I am the biggest asset of my business, especially when you're just starting out, right? Because you're the one that knows the ins and outs of what you're wanting to deliver. You're the one that actually delivers the service or product. You're the one that's doing the promoting. You're the one that's doing all the roles. So your well-being, your support, the support that you receive is so important, right? So this idea of I'm just starting out in business, but should I hire a coach? I don't think I should invest in a coach this early or whatever. No, that's not true. The earlier you are in your business, having a coach, someone to be a cheerleader beside you, someone to help you process through the thoughts that you're having, someone to help you to come to clear decisions, a business coach, someone that understands starting business is so important. The other side of that is having a mastermind of women that you're surrounded around, right? There's your private coaching that's just for you because that's what you need and that's what you deserve and you're the greatest asset of your business. And then there is your circle, your net worth of people, the 5 people that are the closest to you that are in business also. So they understand when you get that high ticket sale and you want to come to the group and you want to celebrate about that, right? Sometimes you can't do that with your family. They don't understand. I know when I first started this thing, and quite honest, a lot of them still don't understand now. Like, what is going on? What is she doing? Um, but when I had my mastermind of sisters, I could say, hey, guess what? And I still have a few. I don't have the same circle, but I do remember that circle where I could say, oh my gosh, I just made a 3K sale and be so excited about, right? Or I could say, just had a discovery call and it was it was a flop, with people that would understand and be able to uplift me and motivate me and encourage me and say, don't give up, keep going. That is so important. Your ability to see yourself as the greatest asset in your business and to know that investing in yourself is worth it. If you can't get past that, I don't know and see how I can't visualize for you how you're going to be able to push forward and move forward within your business when you don't see yourself as the greatest asset. When you're in a place of starting your business and growing your business, it is either you're investing in your own coaching or you're in that transitional place where you have your own coaching and you start to invest in one team member that can support you. Maybe it's 5 hours a week. As little as 5 hours a week is a breath of fresh air, right? So if you're in my coaching programs and people want to know, well, I don't know, how do I, bring on a team member? What do I look for? What would I delegate to that person? This is all a part of your business. Before you can truly bring on a team member to help and support you, to help you grow your business, you're really going to have to be clear on what are you delegating? That's why I started off with that first paragraph, that piece where I was like, this, that I know and I believe and I'm there. When you're at that place where you know these things about your business, who you are, how you operate, how you're going to show up, what you provide, you have that confidence and nobody else shakes it, then it's like, who's coming to support me with this thing, right? Who's going to be on my team? Who's going to help me execute? Exactly. And that is something that I love helping new coaches with as well. Like, what do I delegate? What do I share? What are the standard operating procedures that I should have in my business that I can pass along to make this easier for my team member? Right. So all of that is important. And sometimes you need those training wheels, right? Where you have the coach that supports you on that. I did that with my coach. I asked her, what are you assigning to your team? My coach that has made multi 7 figures or whatever. I'm like, hey, lady, what are you delegating to your team? What are you taking off your plate? I'm learning that from my coach because I've never been there, right? So when you're starting out, you need to learn those things. So you are your greatest asset. Number 2, your identity. I've been I've been kind of touching on this a bit, but knowing who you are, having confidence in your skill set, confidence in the value that you bring to the table, having the utmost clarity about the value that you bring to the table. Oftentimes, my clients will hear me talk. When they hear me talk about their programs, they're like, what? Why? I want to say it like you, and I'm like, that's why this is recorded. So anything I've shared, I will get in the zone of the value that you bring to the table and help you to articulate that even better. I have another client right now where she's like in the middle of launching and she was doing a 4 or 5 email series and she wrote those emails and I said, share the emails with me, write them in time, meet your deadlines and share those emails with me so that I love doing that. I'll come in and I'll write some of your copy. I'll come in and I'll help with the content stuff. Like how do you, any type of promotional content that I can support you with when you're in a private coaching package with me, I love to do that. So I went in and doctored up some of her emails, added authority. You have to own your niche. You have to own it. Know that you know what you bring to the table. The other piece is people don't know what they want to do until you tell them what they need to do. I was on a call with my sister earlier today. She said that a guy said that to her. And the reason why it came up is because when I'm writing in my emails, when you're writing your content, you're putting things out there, you need to tell people Like, I know, you know what their struggle is, and I know what you need, and I have the solution for that, right? That's what you're talking about when you're in your emails and your blog posts and whatever you're putting out there. So the second thing we talked about, we said identity, being able to walk in your confidence, walk in knowing who you are, knowing how God has designed you, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing all of those things, right? Some of my clients will do a brand identity session with me. So we get clear on like two key powerful words that represent who they are. And it's so powerful. I've had someone work through with that with me, right? I'm not going to have you do stuff that I didn't do for my business to be able to grow. And so the other thing is consistency. And I got a little quiet because how many of you that are watching this on live or on the replay, all that beautiful stuff, can honestly say that you are truly consistent? And another thing, too, consistency is going to be your own definition of consistency. For some people, that means showing up every single day. For some people, that means that they are, hold on one second. Yes, for some people, that means, oh, Tia, she said I was trying to write all of that down. I actually have it written down and I will copy and paste it for you. Let's see, because I'm a sweetie and I do stuff like that. And so I'm going to copy and paste that so you can grab it, girlfriend. So yes, I lost my train of thought that fast. Oh, consistency, right? It is what you make of it. For me, I'm going to tell y'all the inside scoop of my consistency. And I fall off the wagon too. But when I fall off the wagon, I can't get upset that I'm not getting any the results that I'm used to getting, right? I know that this is a season where I'm taking a break and I'm happy about that and I'm not guilty about it. And I'm like, this is my rest because I know once I get in the zone and I'm there, oh, sometimes I have 3 programs going at the same time, you know? So when it's time to rest, give yourself permission to do that. But my consistency looks like this, okay? It looks like me going live once a week. I go live once a week. But what I'm doing with that consistency, which is the next thing for your business that I'm actually getting into, is your content. Content creation, you all. There, no matter if you have a service-based business or a product-based business, what type of content are you putting out there? And that's something that I love helping my clients really get really clear on too, is like, what are my pillars? What are the core pillars of my business? What are those core content pieces that speaks to my ideal clients and allow them to know that I am the solution, that lets them know that I have the answers to your problems? And guess what? Focus on that and stick to it and stay committed, right? So my commitment looks like going live once a week. That live is then transcribed and sometimes turned into a blog. That blog is then put on my website. Then that blog is actually broken down into like 5 to 6 or 7 different posts. And those posts go out throughout the week and they actually get disseminated into 3 to 5 different Facebook groups, right? I don't physically do all of that myself, but I drive the direction. I tell my team what needs to be done, right? So it can be done. And I have a meeting with my team member. We got to schedule it tomorrow. Hopefully, I can get in on her little schedule, and we can talk tomorrow and really begin to bring this back up again, because that was my form of consistency, and it worked. Okay, I've done 2 different styles of where I launch every 3 months or I consistently sell. I mean, it depends on your energy and what feels good to you, right? Do you want to nurture, build up to a place where you launch? Or do you want to be selling every week? Because anytime I show up, you sell. It doesn't make, like, I don't know how we run businesses, but we don't sell. Like, okay, y'all listening to this. If y'all want to connect and y'all want to get better at being in a habit of selling, if you want to get better at consistency, you want to get better at clarity on your message, all of that, book a discovery call with me. That's selling. Connect with me. Get on my calendar. Like it's that simple. When you know what you offer and you know the solution that you provide, we talk about it because we walk in that confidence and we walk in that energy of that, right? So it's too, there's in my brain sometimes it's too easy, but I know for my personality, I am an effective person, I'm an original person, and that is on my Enneagram. It is easy for me to sell. That is something that I know about myself. That's my personality. So not everybody thinks that way. Not everybody operates in that way. So therefore, I get to impart into you and help you have a more of a marketing mindset, clear any limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of why you can't show up from inspired action, take action and sell stuff when you feel like it. Right? So I don't know. It's beautiful. I do know it's beautiful stuff to me. I love it. And it's exciting to see multi-passionate mompreneurs of faith showing up with their gifting, showing up with their talents, and saying, look, this is what God has blessed me with. He's deposited this into me, and I'm putting it into my own business. That's beautiful and that's powerful to me for us to show up in that capacity, to be an example to our children, to say that, look, mommy runs her own business and I'm consistent and I show up and I do what's expected of me. Sometimes it's the energy of how we show up. I've watched this, and I have a client like that. I've watched her energy shift. It was almost as if when she posted, she was asking for permission. When I post about what I have going on, who would be interested in this? Or, you know, the language, it just wasn't as powerful. It didn't hit. It didn't come across with the energy of, I know what I'm talking about. I know that I can support you. I know that I can help you. And with my clients, I know that I can help you get your first clients. I know that I can help you build out your signature coaching program. I know that I can help you be more consistent with your content. I know that I can help you book more discovery calls. And when you get on those discovery calls help you to close more sales. Yes. Because what happens is we start to bring the people to us and we get on those discovery calls, and then our money mindset gets in the way and we start undercharging ourselves, or we pick a particular rate. And then when it comes time to say it on a webinar, we go down. No, we're not doing that. Money mindset got to be on point. Knowing your value has to be on point. Releasing subconscious programming has got to happen. All of that so you can walk in abundance and you can walk in that process of manifesting the things that belong to you already because God said it did. Right? So, y'all, where my glasses at? I just looked and I'm like, am I squinting? I need to find my glasses. So what's next? We talked about identity, consistency, being visible and serving with soul. Y'all, being visible and consistency are kind of the same things. I mean, you can be consistent in, putting a blog out once a week or putting a live stream out once a week. But the visibility part to me is really about what type of platforms are you accessing? What type of platforms are you going after? What type of platforms are you saying, look, I know I'm supposed to be on that platform. I'm going after that podcast. I'm going after that blog. I'm going after that summit. I'm going after that conference. I'm on Clubhouse, and there was a young lady that was hosting a room on divine alignment. Duh. I love divine alignment. I emailed her and said, hey, I'm just curious. Are you open to having more moderators in that group? That's an opportunity I went after. What are the opportunities that you're seeking, that you're going after, that you know are in alignment with who you are, how you operate, and you know your idol clients are going to be in the room, right? Or you're just sitting back waiting for stuff to come to you. So being visible, part of that is connecting with those complementary audiences, right? The other thing that I think is so important when it comes to your business is definitely understanding your offer. Your offer is centered around the solution that your clients want, right? So what I am offering to my clients is clarity in their messaging, more structured services, they have their ladder of services, and then being able to launch those things into the world. get more visibility around those things, get more people interested in those things. That's what I'm offering people. What is the core thing that you're offering people, right? It's the difference between saying, "Oh, I'm offering them soulful business alignment." No, I'm not offering them soulful business alignment. That's the name of my program, but I'm offering more clarity, more guidance, more understanding, more structure within their business. That way they can be more consistent and they can show up and they can get those clients in the door, right? So, yes, that is what we're offering. What is the one thing that you're offering when, and I'm just going to use for an example, because quite a few of my clients fall into the like self-love, self-improvement, personal development, all that kind of stuff. You're not offering let's say we're not offering self-love. The other side of that is more confidence so I can show up and be who I want to be when I walk into a room. The other side of that is when it comes to self-love, it could be that my client wants to get out of a toxic relationship. I'm offering them freedom and a way out of a toxic relationship. So you see how it's a little bit more, how do you explain it, detailed than just the thing you do. Your how is not the solution. The what on the other end of this is the solution. So the what is that my clients want to be more seen. They want their visibility raised up. They want to grow their businesses. They want to have structure online. They want to know what they're going to be saying when they walk, when in their business. They don't know what to do. What's the structure? How am I doing this? Right? What's the best way for me to show up and be consistent and actually have results? That's the other side of it. It just so happens that the Soulful Business Alignment coaching program is what helps them do those things. And so getting really clear on what your offer is, and it is related to the solutions that you bring to the table. The other thing that's really important, I think, for businesses now, especially after COVID, getting your online tools in order, understanding that online pathway where what your clients are doing. Because when you know what your clients are doing, you're able to tell them what to do. So what I can say here when I'm posting out in different places, I'm like, hey, I am hosting a 3-day workshop inside of my Facebook group. There's 2 ways you can join us. You can be in the Facebook group where you can watch me, or you can hop onto the Zoom link where I can support you. If you have questions and you want to connect with me, I'm supporting those that are on the Zoom link, right? And from there, they know that I'm offering. You guys know that yesterday I offered my 5-day mindset to manifest your soulful business offer. That is a $97 package. Guess what? If you want access to it, I will send you a Moon Clerk link, right? If you want access to that, I will send you my payment link. From there, my payment link sends you an email and it will deliver my product. How do you get the product into your service product, digital product, whatever it is, into your client's hands? That requires your online tools. And when that process for you is streamlined, then you're not worried about it. You're like, I can do that, right? So utilizing your online tools is so important. And I did put content on here, but I think I already talked enough about content and the way I streamline content and how it has worked for me and it's worked for other people in the industry. So it's no secret on what we're doing with content, how we're putting it out online. The secret behind that is the energy that comes with it, the mindset that goes with it, right? So we are at 35 minutes. I am going to share something else with you all about business, because today was all about business, 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 business. And I want to share this. Your brand is bigger than your logo. It is bigger than your website design. It's bigger than your business cards. Like oftentimes when people think about branding, they start and they think about they are thinking about the aesthetics of their brand. And that is fine. The aesthetics are important, but they're not standalone, right? The soul of your brand is really a combination of some things, and I'm going to share them with you. I can always copy and paste this and put it inside of the whatever the comments, if you guys want me to, just let me know. But it's a combination of a few things. I look at branding, it is a science and an art. It's kind of like mixed together, right? There's an artistic way that we can do this and show up, and how to infuse more of yourself into your brand and all that beautiful stuff. So here we go. The soul of your brand is really a combination of what your brand communicates without speaking. So yes, your design, your colors, your logos, your font, your aesthetics. Yeah, we get it. But it's also about your personal brand story. So the beautiful thing is you do get to speak and you do get to shape that narrative of what people think about you. When you show up, walk into a room, get to show up to a conference or summit, you get to do a podcast, you get to write those blogs. That is your brand communication, and weaving your story in and out of that is beautiful. That's going to set you apart. So um we have what your brand communicates, your personal brand story, your ability to identify your ideal clients and speak to their emotional pain points is so important. You've got to master that. Um, it's really about you highlighting and knowing the solutions that you provide and speaking about the value that you provide. Your capacity for being seen. That's another aspect about your brand. How can you handle being seen, being on the stage, having that greater visibility? I've talked to some clients, and I'm like, so go post this over here or do this. And it's oh yes, I will place that in the chat. That might be a little harder. I'll send it to you personally, dear. Let's see. Oh, but I've been speaking, and we were talking about putting her offer in front of more people, and she could put it in front of this particular audience, and she was like, wait, but too many people are going to see it. She didn't even catch herself when she said it. I was like, did you hear what you just said? She was like, oh yeah, your desire, like your feeling, your fear around too many people seeing it is what's holding you back. It's not the action, it's not the strategy. The strategies work. It's the energy that we're putting out into the world alongside those strategies, right? Janelle, you said I'm guilty of that too. I hear you, girlfriend. I am too. On my own level, I'm like, wait. I do the same thing sometimes, but it's really at, okay, what level are you doing that at, right? And so what is this? What am I saying? Yes. So like I was saying before, did I go through all of them, you guys? Yes, your capacity to be seen, your money and success mindset. You cannot effectively sell and grow without all of these factors. Your brand message, the soul of your brand is what's going to sell. And all those things are combined. Okay. Another thought I want you to think about is that your business is bigger than the service that you provide. I know how I can niche down a service. I can niche it down so far to where it's like we have a targeted ideal client. We know what the solutions are, the values, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But as a multi-passionate mompreneur, you should have an umbrella business. You can have an umbrella business where your entire business can really represent all of who you are in relation to the solutions that you're skilled at providing, based on your gifts and talents that God has placed inside of you. But when you're in sell mode and you're selling something or launching something, that thing needs to be really, really clear of what you're doing, right? So and I've talked to people about this. I've had different clients ask me, well, how do I manage? I have 2 or 3 different ideal clients, and I feel like they're getting mixed together. And I need to know some clarity around, like, how do I navigate that? And I always say, look at the service. I connect the service back to the ideal client. This is the ideal client that I want to serve. What's the service that matches that person? Okay, that's the service. Great. When do you want to sell that? And then you have another thing. Well, when do you want to sell that? You've got to do it in a rotation, in a season, something that makes sense to your business. And one of my clients, or past clients, when I talked to her about it, we talked about doing it in quarters, right? And when we did it, when it was brought up that she's going to split up those idle clients in a way that actually makes sense. That's another thing too. You gotta, this is going to work for your business. It may look differently. This is why you hire a coach, someone to help you walk through that process. This is not about just trying to take on somebody else's business model, because it may not work for your business and your skill set and your passions and all the beautiful stuff. But these, I'm just telling you how I'm able to process these things and putting some ideas out there that you can maybe try. You can try it all day long, but you definitely want to make sure that you're tapping into your skill set, your passion, and your design and your energy around how you want to show up. So what we talked about for her was that her idol clients kind of they progress in the skill set that they need, or the skill set that she provides, where it starts off kind of elementary, it's more of a training, and then it goes into more of a do it with you style, and then it goes in where they bring on her whole team to just do it with them, right? So if for the service that she offers, start with this client first, the idol client one first in this term, then shift the conversation to idol client two, because it's still going to be along the same conversation. It's just growing and it makes sense. And that client can follow you from term one to term two to term three based on everything that you're sharing. So that is really, I mean, it may seem kind of like foreign, or you're like, what is she talking about? But when you offer different services and you are multi-passionate, you really have to begin to look at those services through the lens of your ideal clients. What makes more sense for them, right? And once you get clarity around that, it becomes easy and you feel like I'm operating in all of my passions. And for certain businesses, sometimes they merge, and it's okay. It makes sense to merge, but you got to look at the services and you got to look at what you're offering and look at the solutions, right? So there is a beautiful art to how you put all of this together, and it's different for each business. Yes, I wrote that down. And I help my clients with this, get into their zone with my program, which is a Soulful Business Alignment coaching program, Soulful Business Alignment private coaching program. And we follow the Soulful Business Alignment blueprint. And in that blueprint, we're tackling mindset. We're tackling idle clients. We are looking at the signature messaging and signature service that you're providing. And we're looking at brand visibility strategies and launch strategies and all that. It really is about where are you at in business right now, right? One of my clients, I was talking to her, just trying to, I was giving her an example of another client, and I brought up email. She was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you wrote emails. I'm like, I don't write emails. I said, that just happened to be the place at where we were in her program. She was, one of her tasks and goals that she had to complete was to write this email series. And I offered to her I would look over it. You know, if that's where you're at in your business, where it's time for you to do email series, that's different. Not everybody is there, especially when you're starting out in business. Sometimes it's about you showing up. Sometimes it's about you committing to the action. Sometimes it's about you saying yes to yourself and following through. For some of my clients that are just starting out, it is about following through on what they said they were going to do. And then as you begin to grow, then you can start to bring in that structure. I'm just a little unorthodox around walking in inspired action, walking in the energy of the thing that you know you're called to do. When you can do that first, then all these systems and tools and all of that make more sense. Then they are actually aiding you and supporting you, instead of you relying on this system or this strategy to try to work. There's a big difference in that. Okay, so here are some questions. Janelle and Yvonne, you guys are actually here with me. So here are some questions. I'm going to actually copy and paste these questions into the chat box for us, because you guys are here present. And that was one of the perks of being present and on the Zoom with us, is that you would be able to do this reflection part with us. We have about 13 minutes left. I only want to be here an hour. So I'm going to put them inside of the chat box, and then, I don't know how to do it. Because I know how to do it. Hold on. See, we always have the answers. We know how to do stuff. I'm going to copy and paste it from my computer because I'm reading from my phone. And I was just like, wait, how am I going to get this from my phone to the computer? But I got it. Let me scroll down and copy and paste all of these amazing questions. And I'll say them here. What brings you joy about your business now? What do you love doing in your business now? What services do you provide? What's your main way for getting that service in front of your ideal clients? How do you market and promote your business? What new ideas do you want to implement into your business? What's the balance in serving your ideal clients and operating in your gifting? How you solve their pain, right? How you solve their pain and operating in your gifting at the same time. What do your clients walk away with after working with you? What do you want them to walk away with? Because sometimes you may not have worked with a client yet, right? So you got to think more about what do you want them to walk away with? And how do you choose, or what actions do you take and thoughts or beliefs do you carry as not to lose yourself in business? These are some amazing like journaling questions that you really want to like process. And I mean, take the time to write this stuff down. Oftentimes we get these questions and people will ask questions. We just want to think of the answer in our head. No, take these questions, write them down, because what you don't know the answer to, when you begin to think about that thing, and you begin to ask God and you put it out into the atmosphere, the answers will come. I was just talking to a friend earlier today and I was asking her a question about this. I was telling her that I'm looking for more clarity around this one aspect of manifesting. I'm like, I'm 90% there. I consider myself a master manifester. There's often times when I think about things and God will drop the thing right into my lap, right? It's like I thought about this and then I get to see God move, and it's beautiful. And not everybody has that experience because they have not really tapped into their own belief system and their subconscious beliefs, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But I shared that to say that when I lost my train of thought a little bit there, but when I was talking to, oh no, I got it back. Thank you. When I was talking to her about, I'm 90% there and I'm like 10%, I'm still looking for an answer. Literally, the same person that I reached out to on Clubhouse just last night, like this is recent stuff, y'all. Just last night, I just had an inspiration to reach out. It was just in me. Like there's certain things you're already doing that is you're being led by the Holy Spirit. Acknowledge that, feel into that, trust yourself, have confidence on it. I did not know that the thing that I did yesterday was connected to an answer that I wanted today. And when I went on that live, I asked the question again today. And then when I went into that room, I was a moderator. I was helping to answer questions and all that stuff. But I was like, hey, I got a question too, And when I asked my question, I got the answer. And I told her, I said, what you shared was just confirmation to me. And I believe when I ask the questions, which is I'm doing the work for you, ladies. I'm asking the questions for you. Now you get to write them down, ask them for yourself, and you get to bring them before the Lord, and you get to ask him to give you clarity and wisdom, because that's what he does, right? And then if you want to hop into a space with me where I'm just going to push more into you, pour more into you, help push you into the things that God has for you, then let's do that too. Book a discovery call with me. I will put my link to my discovery call inside of the post. I will update the post and I'll put it in there. If you're watching the replay on this and you're reading it in email, then yes, book a discovery call with me as well. So Yvonne says, no, oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn that down. Yvonne says, knowing I can help others is what brings me joy. There's nothing more liberating like walking in freedom from bondages, and you love coaching. It is natural and God-given. And I will say this, Yvonne, you haven't been a student in the certification program. Oh, you just said it. She says, taking a certification class allowed me to hone my skills to position myself to show up effectively for my clients. I was just about to say, even you inside of our certification program, and for those of you that don't know, not only am I a business coach, but I also train coaches as well. Wow. You were amazing. Just watching your skill set. And something you may not know is that I have heard amazing things about you from the other students in the class. Like when I meet with them, they're talking about you in the most positive, beautiful way. So I just wanted to share that with you. I don't think I've told you that yet, but you have done amazing inside of that certification program. And I've watched you just, even in your recordings, how you communicate whole space and you just hold this presence and this energy of truly caring about your clients and like pushing them and holding their hand to bring them all the way to the end, and you're right there with them and they're having those epiphanies and they're having those mindset shifts and they're having those breakthroughs that they're called to have because of what God has placed inside of you, and you co-partnering with God to do that. So I see you in the most powerful light showing up that way, right? So Janelle says yes. And Yvonne says, thank you. We all learn from one another. Exactly. I learned from the lady on my call today. I'm in the room today. I'm like, sis, I think I'm gonna have to bring you in as maybe a guest speaker or something in one of my programs, because she was just amazing. Y'all might see her. We'll see. So, and I don't know her from nowhere. I just met her yesterday, and that was me. That feeling, that thought. Holy Spirit, I do believe God leads us to take action, and we have to take the action, right? It was like, oh, I like that. I'm interested in that. Take action. Let's not sleep on things. Sometimes we have these feelings and these thoughts, and we want to move, but maybe we get too busy, or we second guess ourselves, or we wonder, is this really God? And no, the way you find out if it's God, you jump in, take a risk. And then once you take the action and you see the result, because we know that God, He puts everything together to work for our good, right? For those who love Him, He puts it all together, He works it out. So if I step into something, I put my toe or my foot into it. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. This is wobbly and this is shaky. That's not my God. My God is not wobbly. He is not shaky. It is a firm foundation when I step out on him. So it's okay to take that little step, check it on out, you know? So, all right, ladies, let me check my notes and see if what else I had to share with you before I hop off. And look, I don't even time these things. I see, look at that. I don't even time these things. I am perfectly at an hour. I just, right. I'm like, Lord, what do you have for the women today? What do you have for the women today? And I literally put all of this together probably 5 hours before this time, because that's how much I trust God. That's how much I know that the stuff is on the inside of me and it will come up when it's ready, when it's time, in its season, in its due time. And today was that season, and today is that due time. So I'm so grateful for all of the ladies that came to the Zoom. I'm so grateful for those of you that are watching on the live stream. And if you want to connect with me further with the Soul Brand Alignment Blueprint that is in my Soulful Business Alignment Mindset Mastery Program, I definitely want you to book a discovery call. That program is normally $3,000. And I was talking to the Lord today, and the number that came up was $1,800. Okay. So if you want to join me for that 3-month program, I'm sorry, yes, 3-month program, it is going to be $1,800. And I will be closing off that rate. I'll be closing that off on the 3rd. So definitely connect, get on that discovery call with me. Let's see, I'm admitting people back into the room. Get on the discovery call with me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And by Wednesday, that rate is gone. It is gone. So like I said, that program, my private program, is only $3,000. And the number that I wrote on my paper today was $1,800. So I don't know where that came from. God is good. And I'm more than happy to do that at $1,800. Okay. So, and just a select few, I'm going to cap that off at 3 people. I will be working with 3 people who know that they want to have more clarity in their branding, more clarity in their messaging, who want to have a better idea of their content. Like, what content am I putting out there? What is my client pathway? How do I really host maybe a challenge or a launch online, the ins and outs of those things, and really be super focused and dialed into those things? Yes, let's work together wherever you're at in your business, where you want to be positioned for growth. Okay. So yesterday, I put out an offer for my Mindset to Manifest, that 5-day challenge where we go over 10 limiting beliefs that you can shift from, overcome. We do the EFT tapping around it. That is a pre-recorded program. It's a mini course. You do it over 5 days. You can break it up over 10 if you want to, and that is $97. So if you want access to that, just let me know. I will update this post by the morning and have my discovery call link in there, the link to the $97 mindset program, and then the link to book a discovery call with me if you actually want to work further and dig deeper and have me holding your hand in your business. So, all right, ladies, it was a pleasure. If you don't have anything to share or anything to say, I will close this out. Okay, I know I like to leave space just in case you have anything you want to share. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for coming, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye.